Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Today, I have with us, he's a director. He has a short film on YouTube that scared the shit out of me, and it's called BUBBLEGUM. I have with us Ryan Kerr. Ryan, welcome to the Horror Room.
Thank you. I can't wait to talk about stuff.
Oh, man, listen, I can't wait. Listen, tell my audience who hasn't had a chance to see BUBBLEGUM, tell them a little bit about BUBBLEGUM.
So, Bubblegum, originally the concept for it was one of my favorite horror movies is The Conjuring. And the plan was to try to make something that was based off a quote from the movie, which opens the short film of Ed Warren saying, "Getting haunted is like stepping in gum. You kind of take it everywhere." And the main plan was taking that and then trying to make it as inconspicuous as possible. There was originally a shot at the start of the movie where the character's coming back from a thrift store and he just found this little trinket, and that was essentially the movie. But I cut that because having it just be a snowman is so much more weird, and you don't know what it is, but essentially he found a snowman by chance and it brought a curse with it.
And what's neat about this movie, there's hardly no dialogue in a short film at all. And it is what scares, what has you on the edge of the seat with this movie is that you don't know what the fuck is going on. It's the way that this movie is shot where you can only, and I don't know if you did this on purpose or not, but you only can see like corners of the room. Like you do not allow the audience to see the whole fucking room. Which makes things eerie, and the constant noises, the constant eerie noises, it just has you on the edge of your seat, unease the whole entire time. Was that something that you did on purpose, or was that something that you just did and you're like, oh fuck, I did this? It's great.
So originally, when I got into film, I was more about the camera than anything else. I just love cinematography, and as it went on, I started getting into other avenues, but I've always focused on the camera and stuff, and not giving the audience full view of something is really, at least it stresses me out a lot when I watch movies, and I'm like, I know there's something over there, like it's a horror movie. It's just the implication of knowing it's a horror movie, I feel like gives you more room to play around, like, oh, I'm just not going to show over there. And everyone's like, well, it's a horror movie. What's over there? I'm like, you're not going to know. And with the audio, most of the audio that plays through the movie is from a feature-length improv movie that me and my friend made like years and years ago. And I don't know how many days I spent playing with the audio and like reworking it until it was just an absolute like made me uncomfortable to listen to, but I tried to like do it in very particular moments and have it like just kind of like when the audience like gets lulled into a thing, or when I would get lulled into a thing, I'd be like, actually this is a good time to like remind them that there's other things, and I'll like have a noise come up or just things like that. But
And anyone who watches this, definitely put your earphones on, right? Because I feel like it adds to the experience. Totally. Because I was telling Ryan, I turned my attention for 2 seconds and this fucking noise came out, and I almost fucking fell out of my computer chair. It scared the shit out of me, and this just had me on unease on the whole entire time, because you feel like you have to watch this. You hear these noises, but and you just see a corner of a fucking room, or you'll see it'll go like this and whoop, to the corner, and you're like, what the fuck was over there? What was that? Listen, unease, man, unease. Now, How long did it take you to put this together?
So, me and my partner, we filmed it in one night, and then I edited the movie, and like that involves like everything from like color correction and audio touch-ups and importing other footage. That took like about a week. So it took like a week to make that in total.
Okay. Now this film was on the film festival I'm sorry.
Yes.
What was the reception?
It was really good. We took it to a local film festival called Bleeding Ham. It's a horror film festival. It's a blast every year, and we took it there. And usually people love getting like big responses and big reception from their movie. My favorite is when the theater goes quiet because you know they're watching. And
Mm-hmm.
with my movie, it went like just dead silent and just couldn't hear anything but the movie. And there would just be moments where you hear someone just like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, yes, it's working. It was really well received. We only sent it there, and I'm probably gonna send it to some other festivals at some point. But I usually just enter a festival or two, just a couple, and then I'm like, okay, next movie, next movie. But
Now, watching, having your movie up on the big screen, I can imagine especially a horror filmmaker, you know, you're sitting back there probably nervous as all hell, like, because I mean, that's the response that you want. I mean, you don't want the response where people are laughing or giggling or even talking. Like, you want that.
Yeah.
So how rewarding was that?
Oh, it was great. It's I haven't been able to attend most of the festivals because when I got into doing festival work, it started with like the peak of COVID. We were at home and I was like, well, I'm just going to make movies now. I have time. And it was just online festivals or festivals really far away. So being able to go and actually see the reception of the movie it's like one of the things that I love most about horror movies is going to a theater and everyone is nervous at the same time. It's so much fun and like being able to make that and it's so rewarding. It's so good. Like getting under someone's skin. I made another movie where it was called Head Rot and it was about a grandma and there's a scene in a basement. There was someone like right behind me and once it got to the basement section, she was just, oh no, oh no, and just like muttering to herself. She's like, oh my god, here it comes, and she's just like talking to herself, and I'm trying not to laugh because I'm like, I don't want to ruin this experience, but like hearing people be unsettled by whatever I'm doing is wonderful. It's the best.
Scaring people in general is fucking fun. Like, I mean, I don't make horror movies, but I just love jumping in the closet and scaring someone. It's so rewarding. It's so much fucking fun. Yes, there's something about it that's so much fucking fun.
Yeah, and I'm usually quiet in person. Like, I don't scare people in person, like, ever really. But like, I'm introverted. I'm quiet. I don't really say much in public. But when it comes to movies, I'm like, I'm going to try to scare you. One of the biggest compliments was a friend that told me they couldn't watch my work because they said it was. They're like, no, they're like, we started Head Rot, and it just there's a point in the movie where the entire movie shifts, and once it shifts, they're like, we were like 5 seconds, we're like gone, and then Bubblegum, they're like the opening. You'll know the like it's just empty shots in the room at the start off the movie, and they're like they just shook their head and turned it off. They're like, there's no way, I can feel it already.
So how do you come up with these unnerving ideas for movies?
I feel like I get most of my ideas. It comes like they usually come from nowhere. It's just inspiration comes from everywhere, and I'll just be studying some random thing that's interesting, and all of a sudden, like if it's like Renaissance paintings, I'll be like, wait a second. The way they showed the shot with the narration that's going gave me an idea, or it'll be a distortion of something, and it'll be a painting, but it'll be blurred out so they can have like a text over the screen, and it'll just be like the face is there, but you can't quite make the face out. And then I'll be like, oh, that's really like off-putting, and I'll write it down in my notes. And then I have this thing of like a face that's kind of out of focus, and then over time I'll get more ideas and it'll like create something, and that's usually how it goes. It'll just be a random thing that joins with something else and becomes more.
And Ryan, right now, as you know, I have an indie horror channel. Listen, there's tons of indie horror creators right now making short films, full length feature, authors, the whole nine yards. Now, how hard is it to stand out right now when it's so easy? And I would say so easy, but it's easier to make a horror film and get it out.
I would say it's extremely hard. It's very difficult. Like, the traffic you find on YouTube is so hard to find, and I'm not really interested in doing the more like soundbite or not clickbait, but for lack of a better term, clickbait material where you'll see like there's trending horror clips on like TikTok, and it will be these little 40-second things, and they're great, but I'm not interested in doing that. I want to do like more story driven or artsy, and it's really tough to find an audience, but I feel like to find a way that's more successful to do that is to do the festival route, because you can find people that are looking for essentially what you're trying to do. If you like submit to the genre you're going for, like horror.
Now, you do short films. Mm-hmm. At any point, have you ever considered doing like an anthology series?
Here and there. So there's like an unofficial, I have a short film titled Hangnail, and I have another one titled Trash Bag. And it's an unofficial, like, it is the same character traveling, and there's Head Rot is the third of that, and then I haven't done the fourth yet, but there's an idea for a fourth for the continuation, but it's like a small thing where it's like not so much an anthology, more of a mini series, but it's like just connected in a way. I haven't thought of like an actual anthology though.
Now, full length feature, is that something? I mean, Head Rot or even Bubblegum as a full length feature, I think would be amazing. But I mean, is that something? As a filmmaker who majority makes short films, is that something tough to come up with a story and expand it into that 90-minute, 142-minute realm?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so challenging, and I've done one feature years back with a friend, and that took months of just like planning and mapping it out, and that was so difficult. And the idea of taking at least for me, the idea of taking a horror movie and expanding it to a feature, I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, I feel like short film is such a nice way to convey like what I want to do, because like features it's such a nice strong area to build really good narratives and really let people sink into the world that you're trying to tell, and thus making like the scares more effective. But it's so much time and money in scheduling and planning, and short film, I've seen the most success with short films.
You can kind of get in and out, right?
Yeah, it's easier. And then like, at least for me, it's a struggle to hang on to an idea long enough, because if I have an idea I like, I will want to make it, and it'll be like the whole process of like planning it, making it, getting the locations, all of that, and then it'll end up done, and I'm like, cool, that was awesome, next thing. And with a feature, you have to do the planning for so long that my interest, I'm just like, oh, I've got this other idea that's kind of cool, or it's like this idea that I really thought was cool, the more I add to it, the less I like it, and it's just, I end up writing it into oblivion, and then I don't do it, and I'm like, no, it wasn't very good to begin with, but it's a whole thing.
Now, as an American, so I'm 41, right? And like, as I feel like not even Americans, I feel like as human beings, our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. And I listen, I even do it with myself. Like, it's hard for me to sit and watch an hour and a half, 2 hour, 3 hour movie anymore. I mean, it has to be something really fucking good. I think the last time I sat through a long ass movie was Dune 2. And like, so like, but I mean, that was a great fucking movie, you know?
Oh, for sure.
And, but like, I'm starting like to like short films are definitely I review short films now, and like short films are starting to win me over because you can get in and get out. Like, I'm a busy guy, you know. I don't have
Exactly.
2 hours to watch a fucking movie now. Now, do you feel like that is the way that we're going as a society? We want that short gratification when it comes to TikTok and YouTube Shorts and short films.
Yeah, reels are what gets people on social media. It's the really short stuff that's popular. And I don't remember exactly what it is, but there's a quote from Stanley Kubrick, and it's way back then in like the 60s. He was saying something about what was it? It was like the goal of film is to be an advertisement, is to take your story and condense it as much as humanly possible and effectively communicate your story just really quickly. And while I'm like, I understand that, I don't agree with it. I don't want to do that. But, you know, I think that is the direction it's going. And I feel like it's going to make two groups. It's going to be the people that are like, yeah, we should make everything as short as possible. And like, as attention grabbing, just the like trailers on social media right now is just, they show like 30 cuts in the first second. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's awful. And then there's going to be the other camp where it's like, oh, we just want slow burn horror and we just want everything to like take its time and creep in and ooze. And it's like, there is a happy medium with short films, I feel like.
So, I mean, I even noticed that as a YouTube creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will post because, you know, and for people who don't know, there's YouTube Shorts and then there's YouTube Full. And you have to, as a YouTube creator, you have to do a mixture of both, right? But my YouTube Shorts always get thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of views, you know, because it's 50 seconds or less, so people are in and out.
Yep.
And I'm just like, boy, my long form shit is so much fucking better. Like if these people who watch my short shit, if they love my short shit, if they just sat down and sat down for 20 or 30 minutes and watched my long form shit, it's
Yep.
so much fucking better. It's
Yep.
so much fucking better.
Yep, I totally hear you. I watched one of your ones just this morning to kind of get a better idea, and I watched some when we first talked, but I watched one today. Don't remember who you're interviewing, but yeah, it was just like, and it's so easy to just put on and then just do the dishes, do your laundry, clean, and you can just have it go, and you just get all this new info, and it's interesting, but everyone's like, I'm on the toilet, I might as well watch this for 20 seconds. All right, I'm out. It's like, God.
But that's what I do when it comes to long. Like, so I'm a huge sports fan. So like, if I'm listening to Chael Sonnen, who's a UFC fighter, or I'm thinking about YouTube content, or Joe Rogan, or fucking Skip Bayless, or something shit like that, ESPN. I put that on the fucking side, and I do dishes, and or I fucking clean, or I work out, or that's why even when I'm driving, I have that on. That's what long form is for.
Totally.
The short shit, the short shit is if I'm sitting in the fucking doctor's office, I know I'm about to get called back. I don't want to maybe not necessarily commit myself to something long. That's when I, watch the short video where the black guy with the dreadlocks, turn women and have them turn around and fucking twerk. That's when I watch that shit.
Exactly.
That's when I watch that shit.
I hear you.
Yes.
There's a time and place for all of it.
Yes, but I feel like as a society, we've come into that point where we all just want to watch the black guy with the cell phone asking women to twerk. That's our medium now. I mean, that's where we're at.
Yep. That is where we're at now.
Which Ryan, which is good for you, man, because you're making short films. And listen,
Yes.
and your short films are getting you. Listen, it's creepy as fuck, man. Creepy as fuck.
I appreciate it. That's all I want.
By the way, listen, anybody who's watching, get the fuck over to YouTube. Ryan's link is down in the description. Check out Bubblegum, please, and check out all his other projects. Make sure to like and subscribe too. Listen and share his stuff because that's how filmmakers on YouTube. I mean, that's how you make a living. You have to get those subscribers. You have to get those views. You have to get those shares. So definitely do that. Ryan, you've watched my show, so I'm gonna hit you with 3 random horror questions.
All right.
All right. The first one. What iconic horror villain do you feel like you relate to the most?
Horror villain. That's so tough. I feel like I would go with probably Mary Shaw from Dead Silence. Not the most popular, but at the same time, eerie, kind of gothic. It's a guilty pleasure. It's not a great movie, but it's very scary. So I would probably go with that character.
Awesome. And second question. F, Mary, kill. Laurie Strode, Sydney from Scream, or since you're a Conjuring fan, the wife. The two. You know who I'm talking about, yeah.
The one that got possessed?
Yes.
Hold on. We're gonna kill the wife for sure. Dead, gone. Who was it from Scream? Sydney?
Yeah, Sydney. Neff Campbell.
Okay, and the first one was who?
Laurie Strode, Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay. F Strode, marry Sydney, because Strode is insane by the new movies. She is unhinged. She's crazy.
1%. 100%. And I 100%. Because I didn't tell you which Laurie Strode either. Because I agree. She gets crazier as the movies go by, and she's completely unhinged. I mean, she's not relationship material. She's not even at that point. I mean,
no.
Yeah. And then you got to worry about fucking dying being in a relationship with her, too.
True, because it's almost like It Follows. There's just always going to be someone in the background somewhere at some point.
Every husband, boyfriend she has fucking dies. So, like, who wants
to want to be shit? Like pinned to the wall and just like,
yeah. Who wants to deal with that bullshit?
No, it's so much work.
All right. Who's overrated? Okay, I'm gonna give you 3. I'm gonna give you 3 horror characters and villains, and I'm gonna tell you who you feel like. You tell me who you feel like is overrated.
Okay.
Leatherface, Jason, or Jigsaw?
I think Jigsaw is overrated.
Why is that?
The movies are fine. They're good. Like the first one was good, and it just got worse very fast. Like he's just an old ass dude with some crazy ideas. But like Jason, I could say the same about Jason's movies. The Friday movies have definitely like been on a very noticeable slope, but my enjoyment has almost gone up with them over the years. And like Freddy versus Jason, or like Jason Goes to Space, Jason X, or whichever one, Like, those are so much fun. And then Leatherface, in my opinion, is just underrated. No one talks about Leatherface. I love Leatherface.
See, I love Leatherface, but I hate his fucking movies. See, that's
movies
my problem.
Are so bad.
They're just some of the worst horror movies ever made. I mean,
yes, exactly.
They're literally some of the worst. I mean, if you look at like horror series that are like consistently good, right? You can toss Scream in there. You can kind of say, okay, Halloween. You can even toss Conjuring, right? But you get movie series where 90% of the movies are bad. I mean, that's when you get the Texas Chainsaw Massacres and the Saws. Like 90% of there's one or two gems in those fucking 11 movies in each series, but only one or two are fucking gems.
Yeah, it's like, it's really hard to say, like, yeah, I'm totally a Texas Chainsaw fan. I like one of the movies that was made. And it's like, it's just the premise is so rich and there's so much potential for it. It sucks. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Netflix one that came out a couple of years ago now, I think. It's awful. I couldn't believe it. I was so stoked for that bus scene, and then it happened. I was like, it's not even good.
If somebody asked me right now to binge the whole entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, I'd rather or poke myself in the eye. I might poke myself in the eye because I'm telling you, those movies are bad. Those movies are so fucking bad. Like, they're unwatchable.
Yeah, borderline unwatchable.
And I don't know how you can fuck that premise up over and over again. I really don't. Like,
no, that's the thing that gets me. Exactly. Like, the first one's really good, and then I don't remember if it's the second or third, but I was just like, this is a joke. This is so bad. And
it's a good one. I like the second one. I actually enjoyed the second one. I enjoyed the second one because it didn't take itself seriously. You know what I mean?
Which was the one with Matthew McConaughey?
Oh my goodness, that's Generations. That is part 4. That is
okay. I thought that was 3. Yeah, that one is like, that one sucks. But yeah, there's
the remake. The first remake.
The one from the early 2000s?
The one with Jessica Biel, Justin Timberlake's wife, in it.
I was just going to bring that one up. That's the one that I'm like, visually, this movie, for the most part, gets it. That's like, since the original, the most sound of the Texas Chainsaw movies.
Yeah. Everything else since, and it was 5 movies after that, I want to say. And I can't even tell you anything about the fucking stories. That they were so fucking. I saw one of them in the theaters, and I wasted. It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. By the way, they made one in 3D, and
did that one have the circus?
Huh?
With a it was like a carnival or a fair. Was that one?
No, this is the one with the chick with the big titties. What's her name? Alexandra DeJanjo. What? It's the hot chick with the green eyes. And she's supposed to be playing Leatherface's sister. And she's clearly in her 20s, right? She's clearly in her fucking 20s. And you want me to believe that from the original movie and from the 70s, she's the baby in that movie. Like, that doesn't even add up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, she's the hottest fucking what? When did that movie come out? In 2010? So that means
I'm looking it up. 2013.
2013. And the original movie was 74?
It was like 74, early 70s.
Okay. So I'm horrible at math, but how old is her? Like she's way too fucking young and hot to be 60 or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're talking about like what was it that just came out? The grandma from X. She'd be looking like that more than her character in Texas Chainsaw.
Yes, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, well, how did you miss that? Like, who in the script writing was like completely missed that? You know what I mean? Like, they completely missed that. I'm like, wait, how the fuck is that gonna be her daughter? I mean, his sister. Like, who the fuck missed that?
Who? How many people miss that? That's what always gets me. Because like, there's usually proofreaders and editors, and it's like, no one questioned that, or was like, wait a minute, she's like 40 years too young.
She's clearly in her 20s. flat abs, big titties, youthful face, and like running around. And there's no way this woman is 60 years old. Like, stop. What are we talking about?
No. Even the way she's like her clothes, she doesn't even dress like she's older. Come on.
It's the complete opposite of like 80s horror movies when they have like a 40-year-old woman playing an 18-year-old. I mean, it's like the
Laurie Strode again.
Yeah. It's the reverse, man. I hate that too. When you got clearly a 40-year-old woman looks like she has a mortgage and 2 kids, and she's a high school student. Like,
I gotta babysit to like afford my car next month. Like, dude, no, you don't.
I'm like, what is wrong with? I understand. Okay, I understand. As a listen, you're a filmmaker. I understand. You probably can't get a teenager to play a teenager. But why can't you get someone 18, 19, or 20? Like, why do you have to get someone in their 30s or even 40s to play a teenager? Like, I don't get that. I'm pretty sure there's 18, 19-year-old actresses out there that would love to be in a horror movie.
I'm sure there's thousands that are out there that are like clamoring for their chance to be on the screen, and I would assume it's like man, I can't think of a good word, but for lack of a better term, clout. Just like the name clout of like, this person is successful for these reasons, they've done these things, so to the investors they see, oh, winning streak, keep it going. It's like, no, she's like 50, please.
I literally watched a movie a couple weeks ago, indie movie, and it was about some high school students, and I swear, not only the women but the guys looked like they were in their 40s. Like, they clearly, it's almost like porn. You know what I mean? Porn, they try to she's a babysitter, but she got a fucking tattoo sleeve and she's got a stretch mark. It's got a stretch mark. She has a C-section scar. Because like, two babies. Like you're like, stop. This girl's not a fucking teenager. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly. And it's like I remember being a kid and watching TV like high schoolers, and I'm like, should I have biceps like his? Because this is ridiculous.
Why can't they hire people who are 18, 19? I ask indie filmmakers, horror filmmakers this all the time. I'm like, I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to say it like I'm trying to say it like I'm not talking about your film, but I am. But I'm like, so is it hard to find like young women to like play high school students or college students? I asked them that question because I'm clearly saying the women in your movie do not look like high school or college students. They look like their moms or grandmothers. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like the pull you have for your movie and like the possible notoriety lures in more actors. Otherwise, it would be harder to find. But like, at least like I'm located in Seattle. At least in Seattle, we have a fairly solid roster of like local people looking to work and do acting and everything. And like I found actor Nova Clark, and I've been working with her like consistently for years because younger, not a 40-year-old teenager, and talented, and like they're out there. It's just no one's giving them a chance or something.
It's weird. I mean, you brought up Freddy versus Jason. The main character, the blonde in it, she was playing a teenager. That woman looked like she was about 37 years old. Doesn't she?
Yes.
Like 37? she was definitely not a teenager. She wasn't even in her 20s. That woman was about 37 years old.
And it's to the point that it throws me so far. I'll be watching this. I'm like, why are these adults like hanging out like they're like on summer break? And then I'm like, oh, because they're supposed to be on summer break. They're kids.
But that was a big budget movie. Like, you couldn't find it. Ryan, they couldn't find an 18, 21-year-old to play a high school student. You had to get a 37-year-old. Like, I don't understand it. Listen, I don't get it.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Because every other genre of movies knocks out apart. They're able to find someone that looks like they're in fucking high school. Horror, whether it be big budget or indie, I don't even want to say it's a shortage of young women actresses. I don't even want to say that. That's the thing, because I know it's not. I don't know. It's like,
I'm curious if it's agents. I'm curious if it's agents or actors worrying about getting typecast. They do a horror movie and they're like, well, it's going to be horror forever. And they're trying to like break into like bigger and better things like dramas and the Oscar worthy stuff. And maybe it's along the lines less of like they can't find one. And it's more, I feel like it's a mix though of like studio pressuring to get like established named actors and then unknown actors that are like, do you want to use horror to break into the scene of movies? And they're like, no, then I'm going to be stuck in horror movies. And or it'll be an agent that'll read the script and they'll be like, there's way too much blood for this person to be in it. And I think it's a mix of that and then a lack of trying. Like, they're out there.
horror and porn, for some reason, they can't find people who look their age. I don't know. They got Ron Jeremy, who's 60 years old, pretending to be a college student.
I was gonna make a joke about the two old teenagers and then like Jason or like Freddy with him, but Ron Jeremy. But that would be a really
no. But you brought up Freddy versus Jason. I saw it in theaters. I was like, wait, this woman is not in no fucking high school. High school?
Yeah, see him sitting at their desk. It's just like, huh? Really? You?
This is someone's mom. This is clearly someone's mom.
She went back to school. It's encouraging. It's uplifting.
Listen, beautiful woman, super hot, but stop it. She not high school, not college, not even grad school. That's someone's mom. That's definitely someone's mom.
I feel like X and Pearl did a great job with it.
X and Pearl did a great job. X and Pearl, which I love them, movie, they did a great job. But that's what I'm saying. Why can't other movies do it? I don't. It's what other horror movies can't do. I don't know if it's laziness or if it's just like or like maybe you're right. Maybe young actresses don't want to do horror.
I don't know. There's definitely ones that do, and I don't know where they are though in the mainstream movies because you never see them.
No, because I know right now. I'm just thinking about right now in indie horror, the main actresses that they all use, the indie horror actresses, they're definitely in their 30s. They're definitely moms. They're definitely in their 30s, and they're literally moms, and they're playing high school students, and I don't get it. And it's not even believable. I'm not saying that these are unattractive women or anything, and I'm not saying they look old, but they don't look like high school students.
Yep.
All right, Ryan, I'm gonna get shit for this interview, but listen up. where can everyone find you, man?
YouTube channels Renegade, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I have Instagrams and stuff, but they're more for photography than other stuff. But my film is Renegade on YouTube. I'm on Film Freeway. I think that's more for festivals than like casual viewers, though. But yeah.
Awesome, man. This was fun. Listen, everybody, go down in the description right now. The link to Ryan's channel's in there. Make sure to like, subscribe, and watch. There's some good shit in there. Bubblegum is fun.
Yes.
Other short films on there as well. Ryan, this was a blast having you on, man.
Yeah, dude, super fun being here. I'm glad we got to hook up like this.
Most definitely, man. And I'm glad to meet someone that agrees with me that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies fucking suck. I feel like most filmmakers are afraid to say it. I feel like they're afraid to say it. They're like, no, I can see the artistic side in a lot of movies. No, they suck. They really do. They suck.
A lot of them, yeah.
The majority of them suck. Yeah, the majority of them suck. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and that is Ryan Kerr. We'll see you next time. Take care.